Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naranchayva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 10, chapter number 58. Krishna marries 5 princes, and text number 15. Tatra vidhyacharai vyagran Tatra vidhyacharai vyagran Shukaran mahishan rurun Shukaran mahishan rurun Sharabhan gavayan khadgan Sharabhan gavayan khadgan Harinan shasha shalakan Harinam shasha shalakan Tatra vidhyacharai vyagyan Shukaran mahishan rurun Saravan Tatkan Ayam Tatavakan Tatra Vighyacharai Vyagran Shukaran Mahishan Rurun Tatra there Avidhyat he shot Sharahi with his arrows Vyagran tigers Shukaran boars Mahishan wild buffalo Rurun a species of antelope Sharabhan a species of deer Gavayan a wild ox-like mammal Khadgan rhinoceros Harinan black deer Shasha rabbits Shalakan and porcupines. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: with his arrows Arjun shot tigers, boars and buffalo in that forest, along with rurus, sharabas, gavayas, rhinoceros, black deer, rabbits and porcupines. So Jiva Goswami comments, Ruru is a type of deer, Sharaba has 8 feet, Gavaya is similar to a cow, and Khadga is a rhinoceros. We'll do the next verse also. 16. Taninyu kararagye madhyan parvanya upagate tritparita parishanto bhibutsur yamunam agat. A crew of servants carried to King Yudhishthir the slain animals fit to be offered in sacrifice on some special occasion. Then, feeling very thirsty and tired, Arjun went to the bank of the Yamuna. Purport: as Srila Prabhupada often explained, the Kshatriyas or warriors would hunt in the forest for several purposes. One, to practice their fighting skills. Second, to control the population of ferocious beasts who were a threat to human beings. And three, to provide animals for Vedic sacrifices. The killed animals would be given new bodies by the power of the sacrifices. Since priests no longer have that power, the sacrifices would now constitute mere killing and are thus forbidden. In the fourth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that the great sage Narada severely chastised King Prachini Bharisat for abusing this principle of authorized hunting. In fact, the king had become like modern sportsmen who cruelly kill animals as a so-called hobby. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says they offered the meat suitable for sacrificial rites to the king. Arjuna went to the river. Jiva Goswami, the servants took those animals which were pure, medhyan, suitable for sacrifice to offer to the king. Yudhishthira is called the king since he had the nature of a king. By killing the violent animals to prevent them from killing others, those violent animals which were unsuitable for sacrifice also got benefit. Sanatana Goswami, the servants of Arjun or the king offered the pure animals to the king. The servants of Arjun or the king offered the pure animals to the king who followed the rules of the king. This excludes tigers, etc. They did not kill to eat the animals, but to offer at the special Shraddha rites. Completely thirsty because of being completely fatigued, he who rejects bad acts, Bibhutsuhu, went to the Yamuna. This indicates he had no desire for Kalindi. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Everyone can please join. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So, requesting the blessings, all you senior Vaishnavas, by your blessings we can discuss this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in this chapter we have seen that how everyone except Krishna and Balram thought that the Pandavas were dead. Right? After the entire fire that Duryodhana and his crew actually set, everyone thought that the Pandavas were dead, except Krishna and Balram. And then when the Pandavas reappeared, then it was like a, for like personalities like Bhishma Pitama, they were like overjoyed that actually the Pandavas are alive. And then Krishna and Balram is described in this chapter how they actually, Krishna with Satyaki and his other associates, they came to meet Pandavas. Oh, now they have reappeared. So they came to meet Pandavas and also the newly married wife of the Pandavas, Draupadi. So we see how Krishna and Balaram, Krishna and his associates, they came. And then the reason I'm going through the summary is just to create like why Sukadeva Goswami has changed like the mood. Anyway, I'll explain the point in a bit. But let me continue with the summary up to this point. And then when Krishna actually appeared, then we read like the Pandavas, it was as if like the senses regained their life when they actually saw Krishna. So Pandavas one way regained, oh, Krishna is right here. And they were so happy to see Krishna. And then we read initially, what was their exchange with Krishna? It was just like spontaneous. As soon as they saw Krishna, they embraced Krishna and they exchanged this like, the spontaneous affection to Krishna. And then after they said, okay, now that, the spontaneous affection, we should follow the etiquette to welcome. And then we see how Yudhishthir and Bhim, Krishna offered respects to them. And then Arjun, Krishna embraced. And then Nakul and Sahadev, they offered respect. So observing the proper etiquette, they actually greeted each other. But first was just spontaneous love, right? And then the proper etiquette. And then we read about how Queen Kunti, when she sees that Krishna has come, is described that how, before that Draupadi is described that how Draupadi, a newly married wife, she comes and slowly and timidly she offers her obeisances to Krishna. And then it's described how Kunti, Krishna actually came, he bowed down to her and she embraced Krishna and her eyes were moist with great affection. She was crying and her throat was choked up. And then she spoke that one verse that she remembered so many troubles that they have gone through. And then it's described that she makes a prayer that Krishna, you appear to actually destroy the miseries. You appear in the heart of everyone to destroy the miseries. So in that way, she actually offered that prayer to Krishna. And then we have come to today's verse, right? Yeah. And then also we see King Yudhishthir's humility where he says that I do not know what pious activity I have performed. He expresses humility that I am actually getting your darshan. Imagine like Krishna has personally come to see you. Not that you have gone to see. Krishna has. So Yudhishthir is thinking like, what pious acts we have performed out of his humility that Krishna is personally coming to see. So the reason I'm pointing this previous thing is we see that the Pandavas have such intimate affection for Krishna. Like they exchange a spontaneous love for Krishna. And then how Yudhishthir Maharaj is expressing his humility. Humility is actually a sign of prema. The more love is there, the more humble the person is, right? So we see how these personalities have so much love. And then all of a sudden, today's verse, what do we see? That once Arjun, he actually very powerful warrior, he had these 2 quivers with inexhaustible arrows. And he's actually come in the forest for like a sports, like it said, like a sporting, in the previous verse, yesterday's verse it says, went to sport with Lord Krishna in a large forest filled with fierce animals. Right? And then today the first verse we read is basically a list of different fierce animals and how Arjun, he shot arrows at all these animals. Right? So we read about tigers, boars, buffaloes, ruru, sharabas, gavayas, black deer, rabbits, porcupines, like all these animals. And Arjun was shooting arrows at all of them. And then in today's verse, we are seeing that how these animals were actually carried by the servants of Yudhishthir back to the palace, right? Back to the palace, and to offer a sacrifice on a special occasion. So there's Sanatan Goswami who says that they went to offer a special Shraddha rites. So they're taking the animals back to perform the Shraddha rites. Right? And then it's described that Arjun felt thirsty, tired, he went to the bank of Yamuna. And this leads to the story of the first of the 5 queens or personalities that Krishna is going to get married. So this chapter is Krishna marries these 5 personalities. So first of those is actually, this is leading on to that story. Okay. So coming to this theme, like, in the purport they say, like, if you see Arjun, I just mentioned the point, the Pandavas, Arjun have such intimate affection for Krishna. Then one would think that, why would they engage in this task of like killing all these animals and then offering the animals for sacrifice? Like, don't we read again and again that one who is actually engaged in devotional service, he does not need to perform all these animal sacrifices, right? Especially like, particularly for this age, it is totally forbidden. But even otherwise, one who is actually engaged in devotional service, who has that intimate affection for Krishna, what is the need for that personality to actually kill animals and then bring them out for sacrifice? So that is the point that the disciples of Prabhupada also make in the purport. They say like, that the Kshatriyas, they would hunt in the forest for several purposes. One is to practice their fighting skills. Right? So practice, they are Kshatriyas, they need to protect. Right? Shat means to protect. They need to protect the praja. Right? To protect the praja, they need to be expert at their fighting skills. Otherwise, how would they protect the praja? If someone attacks and if you're not skilled, then you're going to get defeated. So one is to strengthen their fighting skills, and here we see the aspect of duty. Their duty as a Kshatriya is to protect, and hence for that duty, what is required they are actually doing. That is the first point. Right? Second point, they say, is to control the population of ferocious beasts who were a threat to human beings. Now they have to protect the praja. Prabhupada often says praja means both the human beings and the animals. Right? So if you say it's a duty to protect the praja and then you protect the human beings and kill the animals, that is not the right protection. Praja means anyone who's taken birth in the kingdom. So here the second point is to control the population of ferocious beasts who were a threat to human beings. Right? So even to lower animals, if the population of like tigers just increase unrestrictedly, then there has to be some restriction to actually keep everything balanced. Right? We study this in our school, how there's this ecosystem and there's this balance that's necessary. The Kshatriyas are doing that to actually maintain a balance. And then third point is to provide animals for Vedic sacrifices. Right? And then, so Sanatana Goswami makes this point that they did not kill to eat the animals, but to offer them in sacrifice. Now, and then also the point in the purport is made like how Narad Muni, he actually heavily chastised Prachini Bharisat for actually killing animals and offering in sacrifice. So how do we understand this? That on one hand we see a pure devotee as Arjun killing animals and offering for sacrifice. On the other hand, we have Prachini Bharisat who is actually killing animals, and Narad Muni comes and he actually chastises him as like, what are you gaining by this? So in that section in Bhagavatam, actually we see how Prachetas, sons of Prachini Bharis, they actually go for performing a 10,000 year sacrifice, and then when they are going, they meet who? Lord Shiva, and who teaches them the Rudra Gita. And then they engage like, okay, 10,000 years we are going to chant the prayers of Rudra Gita. So Prachetas, Narad Muni says, Prachetas are delivered, no problem. But what about their father? Prachini Bharisat. He is still engaged in all these karma kanda activities. He's still killing animals. And then he comes back and he says like, oh, the sons are delivered, but what of the father? So he comes to benefit Prachini Bharisat. And the section says that when Narad Muni comes, he comes and he asks King Prachini Bharisat, my dear king, what do you desire to achieve by performing these fruitive activities? The chief aim of life is to get rid of all miseries and enjoy happiness. But these two things cannot be realized by fruitive activity. So, Prachini Bharisat was killing animals. Why? With the aspiration of, oh, now I'll get Goloka, I will be happy, Karma Kanda section, the promotion to heavenly planets, I will be happy. And Narad Muni is saying, aim of life is to end all miseries. And Prabhupada in the purport makes a point that even if you go to Swargaloka, what to talk of Swargaloka, even if you go to Brahmaloka, still the basic problems of birth, old age, disease and death is not actually solved. So you're not one way overcoming the miseries even by promotion to Swargaloka. So Narad Muni is saying, what are you achieving? And you want to be happy? But even the happiness of Swargaloka is insignificant compared to the happiness of Bhakti. So why are you doing all these activities, right? And then we see how Prachim Bharisar replies. And he says, my intelligence is entangled in these fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know what is the ultimate goal of life. So you please kindly instruct me in pure knowledge so that I can get out of this entanglement of fruitive activities. You please instruct me. Right? And then Narad Muni very mercifully, he actually says, Bho Bho Prajapate Rajan. He says, oh king, see. And he shows the king a vision. And in the vision, he sees all the animals he has sacrificed. And all those animals are waiting for Prachim Bharisar to die so that they can actually take revenge. And Narad Muni gives that vision to Prachim Bharisar. And Prachim Bharisar is like, I was doing this as a Vedic ritual. And now all those animals are standing to kill me. And what was my intention? To become happy. To get promotion to Swargaloka. But what kind of practice is this that all these animals are going to cause miseries unto me? And then Narad Muni further enlightens and the whole story of Puranjan comes, which is actually few chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it talks of this allegorical story of Puranjan, and then Puranjani, his intelligence, corrupted intelligence, then city of 9 gates, etc., etc. Right? So that story goes on. But Narad Muni is coming and he's chastising Prachim Bharisar. Like, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? Right? Now we come back to, and we may question the same thing, like if Narad Muni is chastising Prachim, why is Arjun doing all this? Right? Firstly, okay, the first point, we can agree, like, okay, he wants to strengthen his skills. It is necessary. Okay, duty, he's doing it. Second point we read is, okay, he has to maintain the, the balance in the ecosystem. So he has to kill the excess ferocious animals, otherwise the whole system is messed up. Okay, agree. But offering Vedic sacrifice? I mean, in the verse today we read like, the servants of Yudhishthir were carrying those animals which were killed and which were still pure. I don't really understand what it means that the killed animals are pure, but there must be something with the Vedic rituals that only this kind of animal which is killed in a certain way is actually, can actually be offered in sacrifice. Then some concept must be there, right? Some rules in the Vedic. So the servants of Yudhishthira Maharaj is carrying all these animals to be taken back to the kingdom to offer them to sacrifice. Why would Yudhishthira Maharaj do this? So anyone would like to share any thoughts? We see, like, my point is, like, Narad Muni has already chastised Prachim Bharisar, and here we see pure devotees doing the same activity. So this point is actually, so let's start. I'll start with one point and I'll refer to another section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, if you see, even in Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is establishing is actually the intention behind the activity. As the key point, like if you see, even in the second chapter, first of all, Krishna, he actually says, Arjun, fight. Why? And the intention that he actually gives to Arjun is more out of fear. And what was the aspect of fear? He said, if you don't fight, then people will actually come and say, oh, Arjun is a coward. He just ran away. He's such a coward. How will you tolerate such painful words? For a Kshatriya, that is worse than death. Dishonor is worse than death. So you fight. So out of fear, one way Krishna encouraged Arjun. So that is actually the lowest level, that we do any activity just out of fear. They say in today's society, we work out of fear, like earning money, maintaining a social status, Why? Well, one is the social media, like, you have Facebook, I have to show my reputation, I have to be accepted by my circle, hence I need to have so and so position. And people are just working out of fear, just to maintain the status quo, right? Status quo. And it's interesting, I read, normally, like nowadays, what is it? People think not that what, like one way you can say that, like we all have an impression of ourselves, right? Oh, I am like this, I am like this, I am this kind of person, right? So that is one. And other people have an impression of how we are, right? And we are living our life in such a way, not thinking what is my impression, not thinking what is others' impression. We are thinking what is other person's inspiration and trying to live that life. Yeah, you understand that, right? We think that, oh, this person is thinking that I am intelligent, hence I should actually do all this so that I can live that life. So our motivation is just out of fear for all these things, right? And then Arjun, Krishna, one way he tells Arjun, you fight, but that motivation. But beyond that, what is the next motivation Krishna gives? Next motivation he gives is profit. He says, you fight, and what will you get? If you win, you will get this entire kingdom. If you lose, you will get Goloka. Either way, you win or you lose, you will get profit. Hence fight, Arjun. So material profit. Right? And what was Prachini Bharisat's intention? This level. His motivation was, oh, if I do this, then I will be promoted to Goloka. I will get this material profit. That was his intention. Right? Everyone? Okay. Now, beyond that, above that, the intention, what does Krishna tell Arjun? Fight without considering honor or dishonor, labha, labho, jaya, jayo. Just do your duty. The results are not in your hand, oh Arjun, just fight. Just do your duty. Just do your duty. So that is level number 3. Right? Level number 3. But also Krishna points out that if your motivation is okay, out of duty I'm going to do this, I'm going to follow Vedic principles out of this duty, then you will have all these distractions will be pulled you. So this level of motivation is not very strong, in general, because people have that motivation to enjoy. So they'll be pulled to level 1 and level 2, right? The duty. Right? So if you see the first 2 reasons why Arjun was killing animals, first 2 reasons: to practice fighting skills, Kshatriya, hence is my duty, hence I need to become a good fighter, so that's duty. Second, to control the population of ferocious beasts, again it's out of duty. It wasn't. So hence Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami is making a point, not with the intention of eating these animals, not with the intention of enjoying this act, out of duty. Out of duty. Now, even the aspect of offering these animals in sacrifice, it's also out of duty. Why? Because as a king, he needs to establish the Vedic principles. And what is the whole, the point of the Vedas actually describing Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda, all these different levels. Why? Because not everyone will come to a platform of pure devotional service. And hence Vedas say, okay, whatever mode you are conditioned with, if you are more in the mode of ignorance, we have these 6 Puranas for you. If you are in the mode of passion, we have these 6 other Puranas for you. If you are in the mode of goodness, we have these other 6. So 18 Puranas, right? So 3, 3 and 3. And then the Vedas say, okay, that's your consciousness, do Karma Kanda activities. But through that, gradually elevate. Gradually elevate. So the Vedas, the purpose of the Vedas is whatever is your position, you can somehow get engaged in the Vedas. Hence, for the king, if the king actually, if he may be a pure devotee, but all the citizens may not be. And to set the right example, the king may have to do certain things, which actually may be even not favorable to his bhakti, but it is essential just to do his duty properly. So that's the beauty of bhakti is it one way transcends even the principles of morality. Right? So we see that famous thing in Prabhupada mentions that when Ashwatthama, when Dronacharya was to be killed, right? And then Krishna told Bhima, he said, you start shouting that Ashwatthama, the elephant, is killed. So Bhima killed the elephant named Ashwatthama, and he started shouting, oh, I killed Ashwatthama, I killed Ashwatthama. Right? And then when Dronacharya heard, he said like, oh, my son is dead. I cannot fight anymore. But he wanted to confirm it. And he said like, only one person I know will never speak lies. I'll go to Yudhishthir. And he'll confirm. So he goes to Yudhishthir and says, so Yudhishthir, is my son Ashwatthama killed? And it's interesting that how they say Yudhishthir Maharaj, because he was Dharmaraj, he never spoke a lie. His chariot never touched the ground. And then, some people say that because at that time he said, yes, Ashwatthama, and some commentaries say, he said, Ashwatthama, the elephant is dead. But when he said the elephant, Krishna blew his conch shell. So Dronacharya just heard, Ashwatthama is dead. So some commentaries say that. But people say that because Yudhishthira Maharaj spoke a lie, his chariot now touched the ground. But that's not the reason. The true reason that, our Vaishnavas, we explain, is Yudhishthira Maharaj hesitated. He said like, how can I speak a lie? And because of the hesitation, he actually touched the chariot. So what is higher? Higher is even beyond morality. If Krishna is asking you to do something, then you do it. That is higher than even the principles of morality. It has to be like Krishna's desire. Krishna is saying, speak a lie. The absolute truth is saying, speak a lie. And if Krishna wants you to do that, then you can do it. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, So my point is, even the sacrifices, this animal sacrifices, the Pandavas are doing it to set an example, right? To set an example. And because they are doing it out of a matter of duty, though they are pure devotees, they are actually not affected by any of this sin. Their intention is, actually I talked of 3 levels, duty. But beyond that, what is beyond all this, Bhagavad Gita is saying, okay, fear, material profit, third one is duty, and the highest one is love. The highest one is love. So if you see, like, this is like, for most people, this is like, how can you say that fighting and killing people, like this is for Arjun, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where there's like rivers of blood flowing, that is your expression of love for God? Like people will be like, what is that? I cannot accept that. No, but Arjun's fighting is why? Krishna, you want it to happen. It's your desire, I will do it. Even that involves killing so many people. Krishna, what you say is the highest. What you say, that is the highest dharma for me. Right? So our principle is, highest dharma is Krishna's words. Krishna's words. Right? So the highest motivation is out of love for Krishna. And we see previously in this chapter, why did I say the background? Because how the Pandavas has so much love for Krishna. So with that background, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking so much love for Krishna, and then he talks of this animal sacrifice and all these things. So certainly we can understand that their motivation for doing this is not out of the lower motivations. They have love for Krishna and okay. That's how much shorter. Okay. The motivation is out of love for Krishna, and out of their motivation, whatever is required, they are actually doing it. So there's another section I wanted to refer to, which is actually Bharat Maharaj in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, where this section is very nicely explained in one of the purports of Srila Prabhupada, where Bharat Maharaj is also doing all these different sacrifices. But he's a very elevated devotee. And the entire purport, Prabhupada explains that yes, Bharat Maharaj was doing this out of a duty, but what was his intention? when the sacrifices were made to the demigods, he were thinking, oh, these demigods are just limbs of my Lord Vishnu. So his consciousness was just Vishnu, satisfaction of Vishnu. That was his only thing. He was doing all these different sacrifices, but his only motivation, only intention is satisfaction of Vishnu. So that purport, if you would like to read it, I don't have time to go through it. I was planning to read that purport. Prabhupada very nicely explains that how, like in the purport, one sentence. Since Bharat Maharaj was a great devotee, one may ask why he performed so many sacrifices that are actually meant for karmis. That's basically the point we are discussing. Why did he do that? And then Prabhupada explains in the purport. The fact is that he was simply following the orders of Vasudeva. Right? And that's what Arjuna and Pandava did. Simply following the orders of Vasudeva. And further he says, and also what was the intention? Bharat Maharaj simply wanted to please Lord Vasudeva and Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Lokam Maheshwaram. His consciousness what? Yagya. Who is the enjoyer of all yagyas? Only Krishna. So whatever sacrifice they are doing, they may be following, okay, animal, offering this, offering that, but motivation, intention, Bhoktaram Yagya, only for satisfaction of Vishnu. So, we are out of time, but just wanted to mention this point about intention in doing our activities. Right? So even in bhakti, when we are doing different activities, what should be our intention? Bhagavad Gita 12.9. 12.8 Krishna says, always think about me. And then 12.9 he said, if you cannot think about me, then follow the principles of bhakti yoga. What is the intention? With a desire to attain Krishna. So that's our intention of doing all the activities. So thank you all so much for your association. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Go Yasomachinandana Brajobaro Nagara Gokularam Jana Kana
Yashomadinandana Brajabaranagara Golaranjanakana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamuna Vidana Kaliyadamuna Vidana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vansivadana Subasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vansivadana Subasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Bhakti
Jajana Palana Sura Kulana Sana Jajana Palana Sura Kulana Godanara Koala Nanda Godanara Koala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Jamnatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Jamnatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Amala Harinam Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Mamiya Vilasa Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhagati Vinodasraya Bhagati Vinodasraya Yasomati Nandana Brajobaro Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yasomati Nandana Brajobaro Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Jayo Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Radhi. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Nitai Go Haribo, 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 Haribo. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Premanandi. Soda, lover in land of Braja, the delight of Gokula.
The attractor of Cupid and punisher of the serpent Kaliya. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braj, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute, and excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braj, destroyer of demoniac dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune. Oh, beautiful little cowherd boy of under our rug. Wanderer of the Yamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Vinod Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. It took us a long time to decide to do it, but we're going to have Harinam tomorrow, and hoping Anadi's coming along and fired up like he was today. But we're going to be at Weaver Street Market here in Hillsborough between 12 and 1:30 tomorrow, and it's going to be cold but sunny. So please come. Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pradinam Pranam Ritas Ananam. Very nice. Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tororapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kribayata Vabada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajushim Vichintaya Nainam Gladashu Daraya Varanam Gad Garudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahaneva Vishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishiva Padamritam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatava Vidadatulam Pato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Gracias. And all the dust accumulated for years, and fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach